way that we are. We all have unique personalities, skill sets, characteristics, but why? Why? And the simple answer to this, if we just want to go simple within it, it's because God made us that way, because God created us that way. He created us the way that we are for a purpose and for the plan He has for our lives. And that's how we answer the why. But after I answer the why, I started thinking on the how. How does God make us the way that we are? How does God make me the way that I am? Was I born with just, did God place a motivation in me, like in my mom's womb, to like play bass one day? Was I coded? Did God code my sense of humor since I was born? I love Taco Bell. That's my favorite fast food place. Did God place a love for Taco Bell in my heart since I was little? And as I'm going through the how, and I'm sure if you guys kind of ask yourselves how, I concluded that I am the way that I am, and God made me the man I am through the people around me, through the people that have surrounded me. You see, I can draw back my musical inclination, my motivation to play bass when I was in elementary school, and my elementary school orchestra teacher just told our class we need a bass player, and I was the one that volunteered. My sense of humor, I can draw back to my childhood, hanging out with my brothers, watching the movies and TV shows that they like, and cracking jokes with them. And even Taco Bell. I remember my mom taking me to Taco Bell for lunch after school. I would get 3 soft tacos and a Baja Blast Freeze, which was amazing. And all these things are drawn back to people. The people around me, the people that I've surrounded myself with, the people that have surrounded me. I can even remember some of my biggest mistakes were due to me surrounding myself with people who made it easier to sin by helping me walk down the wrong path. Even some of my biggest mistakes, although they were my mistakes and I made the decision, we can all admit that people around us make those decisions a little bit easier. And today, culture promotes and celebrates this concept of self-reliance, right? We see that everyone's saying, do things your way, right? That accomplishing your own thing, being your own person. We hear that a lot. But I'm sure if we all reflect on our lives, we'll realize that our lives are profoundly shaped by the people we choose to surround ourselves with. Our lives are profoundly shaped by the people we choose to surround ourselves with. And that's why today, the title of this message is Walking with the Wise. Walking with the Wise. If our lives are shaped by the people around us, then we need to think wisely of those that we surround ourselves with. The Bible speaks extensively about the impact of relationships, emphasizing that wise companionship can strengthen our faith. Wise companionship can provide essential accountability, and wise companionship can reflect the love of Christ. I'm going to repeat those. It strengthens our faith. The people around us strengthen our faith. The people around us provide essential accountability. They keep us in check. And the people around us help us reflect the love of Christ. We talk about friendships and relationships a lot within youth, and I'm sure everyone can speak to the people around you shape who you are, right? I remember I had a high school teacher that would say, show me the 5 people around you and I could show you your future. And that's because the weight the people have around us, the weight that the people have around our lives influence our daily decisions. They influence the person we are. So today we're going to explore the significance of godly relationships and how to cultivate them in our lives. And I want to start off with our first point for today, which is choose companionship carefully. Choose companions carefully. Proverbs 13:20 says, whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of the fools will suffer harm. Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of the fools will suffer harm. Friends influence our direction, and ungodly association can lead us towards destruction. We could see this in the life of Samson. I don't know if you guys have heard of Samson, but Samson was a man of incredible strength. I'm sure if you grew up in church, you've heard about Samson in Bible school or Sunday school when they cut off his hair and he lost all his strength. But Samson was a man of incredible strength. He was empowered by God, and God had empowered him to defeat and overthrow the Philistines, the Philistine empire that was oppressing Israel at the time. His strength had come from being a Nazirite. And one of the requirements of being a Nazirite was not cutting their hair. and he found success in defeating Philistines. He won battle after battle because of his immense strength. And because of this, the Philistines had set out a plot to capture and kill Samson. Now, Samson had made some pretty poor choices in the people he decided to surround himself with. If you read a story in the book of Judges, you'll see that he was living wildly, that he had friends that would kind of support that behavior. And Samson made poor choices in his relationship, specifically with his companionship of this woman named Delilah. He sought companionship with Delilah. Now, the Philistines approached Delilah, and they actually paid her to help them capture Samson. And Samson's strength, or help them capture Samson and help them find out what Samson's weakness was, and to ambush him. And it's crazy, if you read the story, like it just took one conversation that the Philistines talked to Delilah, and she was like, okay, for sure, yeah, let's do it, and that's an example of a poor companionship, right? She wasn't defending him, she wasn't asking why, she was focused more on the money than on the person that she was with. And if we read Judges 16, 6-9, this is where the story picks up. This is where Delilah betrays Samson for the first time. It says, Delilah said to Samson, please tell me where your great strength lies and how you might be bound, that one could subdue you. Samson said to her, if they bind me with 7 fresh bowstrings that have not been dried, then I shall become weak and be like any other man. Then the Lord of the Philistines brought up to her 7 fresh bowstrings that had not been dried. She bound him with them. Now she had men lying in ambush in the inner chamber. And she said to him, the Philistines are upon you, Samson. But he snapped the bowstrings as a thread of flax snaps when it touched the fire. So the secret of his strength was not known. So Delilah betrays Samson. She's trying to get Samson to admit that his weakness is in his hair. And he lies to her, tells them that she has to wrap him in some bowstrings. She does that, and it ends up failing. And Delilah betrays Samson, and this isn't just the first time, but she ends up betraying Samson 4 different times. And 3 of those times, Samson tells, very similar to this story. If you guys want to read the story, it's in Judges 16. Samson tells Delilah a lie, again, telling her that he loses his strength in another way. But on the 4th time, Samson actually tells her the secret to his strength. And then she ends up cutting his hair. The Philistines ambush him and capture him because his strength was gone. So we see how the companionship of Samson led him to his own demise. There's little evidence that he sought godly counsel or surrounded himself with wise friends. His relationship with Delilah led him to compromise his vows, to reveal the source of his strength, and ultimately resulted in his capture, his humiliation, and death. Samson's life serves as a cautionary tale. His lack of godly companions and wise counsel contributed to his tragic end. The people around Samson weren't trying to help him, they were trying to bring him down. And it's crazy in the story that nobody told Samson after the 2nd time, like, hey, you know what, maybe Delilah's not the best option for your companion, Maybe that's not the best for your companionship. And that just goes to prove that he had nobody around him that was able to give him godly counsel. Nobody around him that was able to walk with him the life that God had planned for him. And it really just makes me wonder how many of us, due to lack of companionship, due to lack of godly companionship, are running back to those relationships, to those sins, to those things that we keep on running back to because we don't have people around us telling us otherwise. Because, we forgive and forget a lot of the times, and we just run back and run back and run back until our demise comes. 1 Corinthians 15:33, it says, do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. I think this verse points something out important, that it doesn't matter how well you were raised or how good your morals are. Bad company will always corrupt good morals. Samson was raised as a Nazirite. And what Nazirites were, they were people that were specially dedicated to God. They made a vow to follow God, so they had to live a lifestyle that respected God. They had to abstain from certain things. They couldn't cut their hair. And Samson was raised this way his whole life. And if he was raised a Nazarite, that means he had to have had some sense of good morals. But he was corrupted by his company. He was corrupted by his company, which essentially led all those good morals, that good upbringing, and that commitment to God to go out the door. And I want us to ask ourselves today, are you surrounding yourself with people who encourage your spiritual growth, or are you influenced by those who compromise your values? Are you surrounding yourselves with people who encourage your spiritual growth, or are you influenced by those who compromise your values? And I don't want to get into all this, saying that, we can only, hang out with Christian people, or I can only hang out with people that are my faith, or I have to walk around with this checklist and be like, no, you don't fit the bill, But who are the people that are speaking life into you? Who are the people that are around you? Who are the people that you're doing life with? And are those people encouraging your spiritual growth? Or are you being influenced by them and they're compromising your values? Today I want us to evaluate our current friendships, to seek out companions who share your faith and challenge you to live according to God's principles. Because if we don't have those friendships, those companions, then we're just waiting for the world and for ungodly counsel to corrupt our lives. So our point number 1 for today was choose companions carefully. Choose companions carefully. And the second point I want to share with you guys is receive the gift of godly counsel. Receive the gift of godly counsel. So yes, we need people around us. We need those godly friendships. We need the right companions, and we need to choose them carefully. But we also have to receive the gift of godly counsel. Proverbs 27:17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. The way we grow, the way we sharpen ourselves, the way we become effective disciples of Christ is by being sharpened by other believers. Wisdom grows in community, and godly counsel provides strength and protection. Wise counsel isn't just about getting advice. It isn't just about hearing good things all the time. It's about sharpening our understanding. It's about strengthening our resolve and helping us make better decisions. I'm going to repeat that. Wise counsel is not just about getting advice. It's about sharpening our understanding, strengthening our resolve, and helping us make better decisions. It's not just about hearing out what a pastor has to say, but it's about receiving what a pastor has to say, receiving it and understanding it, growing from that, and actually acting upon it and making better decisions for yourself. We can see this in King David. King David in the Bible is described as a man after God's own heart. He understood the importance of godly counsel and loyal companionship. And we could read it all in 2 Samuel 23. You guys can go chapter 23, verse 8 through 29. You guys can read on your own time. But he surrounded himself with mighty warriors who were not only skilled in battle, but they also demonstrated unwavering loyalty and offered valuable counsel. You see, we read King David's story, and yes, he has some mistakes, he has some failures, but at the end of the day, when we read through his story, we see the amazing kingdom that he raised. We see the amazing leader that he was, and we see the amazing man of God that he was. But we have to understand that wasn't just because of him, but it was because of the wise counsel that he surrounded himself with. These men supported David through trials. They protected him from enemies, and they helped him govern his kingdom with wisdom and integrity. In 1 Samuel chapter 25, David was actually about to make this very rash and emotional decision that could have led to great bloodshed, killing a bunch of people and just leading to demise. But Abigail's wise counsel prevented him from acting impulsively. So Abigail tells David that she doesn't think that he should be doing this. It gives them a different perspective on the whole situation. And we see that David not just had wise counsel, but he also received it. Proverbs 11:14 says, "For a lack of guidance, a nation falls, but victory is won through many advisors." Victory is won through many advisors. And like I said before, David not only heard wise counsel, but he also received it. We need to seek out godly counselors and be open to their wisdom. And I want to focus on that part. Be open to their wisdom. Because I feel like a lot of the times we want to seek advice. We want to go to a pastor. We want to go to a leader to talk to them. And they give us some great advice. They give us some good tips. They give us a plan for our lives or whatever. And we just go back and do quite the opposite. This is important because it's one thing to seek godly counsel, but it's another thing to be open to their wisdom. What's the point of seeking godly counsel if we're not willing to receive it and to apply it? What's the point of sitting here on Sunday mornings if we're not willing to apply what we learn? What's the point of sending our kids to Sunday school and to youth on Wednesdays if they're not willing to apply it into their lives, if we're not willing to demonstrate that into their lives, It's like sending a kid to basketball practice just to have them sit on the bench the whole time, no, we're not at practice to sit on the bench, we're at practice to play, So we need to be willing to accept and apply it. And I think something that kind of frustrates us sometimes is that godly wisdom is biblically based and it's truthful. And I tell you that it frustrates us because godly wisdom and biblical truth tells us what we need to hear and not what we want to hear. And that's something that's so important because what I want to hear is Alexis, you're doing a great job, Alexis, you know what, what you're feeling is just so justified, do what you keep on doing, But what I need to hear is hey, dude, you need to get your stuff together, your emotions aren't justifying your behaviors. Just because you're feeling this way doesn't mean you should be acting this way. And that's what we need, and sometimes it frustrates us. But if we're seeking wisdom, expecting to hear exactly what we want to hear, then we're not seeking wisdom, we're just seeking affirmation. If we're seeking wisdom, just expecting to hear good things, just expecting for people to justify our behavior, we're not seeking wisdom, we're seeking affirmation. And I think affirmation could be good in certain contexts. And I'm not saying wisdom is always going to go contrary to what you're thinking. Wisdom can sometimes be super encouraging, and a lot of the times it is. But it's dangerous to be seeking affirmation because not everything that I do should be affirmed. Not every action that I do should be affirmed by a leader or by a pastor. Sometimes we need to be corrected. Sometimes we need to be given wisdom. I honestly kind of wonder sometimes, and I wonder if the Apostle Paul would have just filled the New Testament up with affirmation. I wonder what that would have looked like, telling the Corinthians hey, you know what, it's fine that you're all doing that, just pray about it, or if you guys are feeling good, that's okay, I really wonder what our Bible would look like if it was just filled with affirmation and not wisdom and correction. Because something we need to realize is that wisdom is not supposed to sound good all the times. It's just supposed to be truthful. Wisdom is not supposed to sound good. It's not supposed to give us a warm feeling and fuzzy feeling all the time. It's supposed to be truthful. It's supposed to be biblically true. So truly seeking out God's wisdom requires us to be open to listening and applying the wisdom. And how do we do this? We become a part of a community that accepts wisdom, where wisdom is valued and where wisdom is shared. We join a connect room. We join a small group. We join a Bible study. We seek out a mentorship program. We reach out to a leader or to a pastor for wisdom. And it doesn't have to always be this plan, but it's just asking hey, I need this in my life. Hey, I'm struggling with this. What do you advise for me? For some of our young people, if our parents are in church, then we need to reach out to our parents sometimes too, because I have found some of the most wise people in my life to be my own parents. So some of the people that'll correct me, some of the people that'll tell me what I need to hear a lot of the times are my parents. They are my pastors, they are my leaders. They're not just my friends that make me feel good all the time, but they're the people that actually tell me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. I've said it before, but the reason I am where I am today is not because of my own strength. It's not because of my own accomplishments. It's not because I overcame this or that, but it's because the people around me overcame it with me. Because the people around me led me to this point. Because God placed those people around me. And one of the most important people that we need around us are people that can give us godly counsel. And that's why the point is receive godly counsel. Because godly counsel is there. The gift of godly counsel is there. If you're connected to a church, if you're connected to a small group, if you're connected to some sort of religious or Christian hierarchy or structured church, then the wisdom is already there. The wisdom is already there, but we just have to receive it, and we need to be open to receiving it. Because like I like to say, I think wise counselors, they show us our blind spots. A lot of times our own thoughts and our own decisions are clouded by emotion. They're clouded by our own experience. They're clouded by our own opinions, but they allow us to see our blind spots. They allow us, they show us the things that we can't see on our own. Godly counsel is here, but we just need to receive the gift of godly counsel. The last point I have for us today is be a wise friend. Be a wise friend. So we talked about choosing our companions carefully. We talked about receiving wise counsel, receiving the gift of godly counsel. But now it also takes wisdom, and walking with the wise also takes something from us. And I think that is being a wise friend. Proverbs 17:17 says, "A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity." Loyalty, truth, and love define biblical friendship. And we could just see that within the life of Jesus. In John 15:12-13, he says, "My command is this, love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend." Jesus showed us the ultimate example of being a wise friend, of being loyal, of being truthful, of loving those around you. A true friendship is marked by unwavering loyalty. It's marked by honest communication, and it's marked by unconditional love, especially in times of difficulty, especially in times of adversity, especially in difficult times. And Christ demonstrated the perfect picture of a friendship by putting others' needs before his own. Being a wise friend is important because what's the point of choosing wise companions? What's the point of receiving godly counsel if we aren't pouring it out onto the people around us? If we aren't reflecting the friendship we're receiving, if we aren't reflecting the love of Christ, then what's the point of walking with the wise? In Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9-10, I love this verse, or these group of verses, and it says, "Two are better than one because they have good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up." We see this since the beginning of creation, when God says to Adam that man is not meant to be alone, and he created Eve. We're meant to be in companionship with people around us, not just romantic relationships, but friendship, and also mentor relationships with leaders and with pastors. So I want us to ask ourselves, are you a friend who's loyal? Are you a friend who's truthful? Are you a friend who's loving, especially during times of adversity? Are you demonstrating love in your friendship even when you don't feel like it? And I think that's so important because a lot of times we get love confused with an emotion. But love is so much more than an emotion. I'm not married or anything, but I'm pretty sure if I ask any married couple here today, that if you only love the person next to you when you felt like it, then you guys probably wouldn't be together right now, right? Because love is so much more than an emotion. And because love is way more than a feeling, it's an action. And Christ displayed this sentiment when he acted upon his love by giving his life for us. That's the ultimate example of the love that he's given us. It's the ultimate example of how we should be loving and how we should be wise friends to the people around us, driven by love. I always reflect on that time, especially during Easter. And in this past Easter, Pastor Rudy gave an amazing message on it. But I'm pretty sure Christ didn't feel like dying on the cross, but he still did it because he loved us. Because he exemplified the nature of friendships. And our nature of friendship is prioritizing the people around us in tangible ways, by offering encouragement, by providing some support, by praying for each other's needs, by loving each other even when you don't feel like it. I think we should all be modeling Christ's love by demonstrating sacrificial love in our friendship, by reflecting the heart of Christ. Christ, and I think it could be so hard for us, but it's something that God calls us to do. It's something that God calls us to be obedient in. And if we first want to demonstrate the love we have for Christ, we have to be obedient to him, even if we don't feel like it. And it goes with our friendships. If we want to demonstrate our love to our friendships, to those around us, we have to demonstrate it in action, even when we don't feel like it. But it starts by being obedient to Christ, even if you don't feel like it. A lot of times, I feel like there's times in my life where I don't feel like pursuing ministry. My testimony within starting in ministry is I said yes to Pastor Rudy, not feeling like this is where I belong, not feeling like this is the plan that God had for me, but I was obedient to the opportunities that he gave me. I was obedient to what he had for me. So if we want to reflect the love of others around us, we first need to be obedient to what God has placed in our hearts, for what he's done in our lives. Be obedient to his word, to his wisdom, and to the truth that he's given us. And before we leave today, I honestly want us to leave with a couple of practical things to work on in order to apply it into our lives. If you guys want to write these down, you can. But first and foremost, I want us to reflect. Reflect on this. Who is shaping your walk with God? Who is shaping your walk with God? Are you positively influencing those around you? So first, who's shaping your walk with God? And are those people shaping your walk with God according to his word? Are they shaping your walk with God according to the truth? And then ask yourselves, are you positively influencing those around you? And I'm not just talking about people at church, but everybody. Because I know a lot of us, we work and we go to school and we're surrounded in secular environments. And then the Bible tells us to love our neighbor, not to choose our neighbor. The person around me is who God calls me to love, even if I don't like them. The person around me is the person that God tells me to influence positively, even if they go contrary to my beliefs. Ask yourselves, are you positively influencing those around you? And after that, I want us to take action. If you haven't already, join a small group. Start a discipleship relationship or mentor someone. Join a connect group, join a small group. Start a small group, start a discipleship relationship, get a friend, get a group of friends, do a Bible study, ask each other what each other needs and how we can help each other, grow in Christ. Mentor someone, mentor a younger sibling, kids, or maybe someone that's just a couple years younger than you. I always like to say that friendships and the people around us shouldn't look exactly like us. They shouldn't like the same things as us. They shouldn't have the same strengths that we are. But I want to surround myself with people that have strengths where I'm weak, and where I'm strong, where they're weak. Because that's the way we grow. That's what discipleship really looks like, growing each other. And lastly, invest. Encourage, pray for, and serve someone in your community. Demonstrate Christ's love in practical ways. Invest the time to encourage those around you. Invest the time to pray for those around you. Invest the time to serve those around you. These are practical ways we can display God's love through friendship by investing. And I'm not going to get into specifics like, go to the food bank and volunteer here, or pray for this person's specific need. That's honestly a journey of walking with the wise. It's individual for each person. What I do with my friends isn't going to be the same thing that you do with your friends. You know your community more than I do. But the community we do have, we need to encourage them. We need to pray for them, and we need to serve them by demonstrating Christ's love. I just want to end off today just reminding you that godly relationships are essential for our spiritual growth in the advancement of God's kingdom. By carefully choosing your companions, valuing God's counsel, and striving to be wise and loving friends, we can strengthen our faith, we can promote accountability, and we can reflect the love of Christ. And I think that's awesome. When you pour into others, they pour onto you. When you dedicate your life to Christ, He dedicates His to you. And He's already done that. So we strengthen our faith, we promote accountability and reflect the love of Christ. It takes action, it takes work, it takes obedience. but in return, we strengthen our faith. We promote our accountability, reflect the love of Christ. We become effective disciples of Christ. We become effective followers of Christ. We're now able and equipped to follow the purpose and the plan that he has for us. The purpose and the plan that he says in his word is perfect for us. So let's commit to cultivating these relationships, to knowing that they're vital for our journey and for impacting the world around us. In this series of Proverbs, we've learned a lot about wisdom. And today I want us to leave today that we can't pursue a wise life alone. We can't pursue a wise life on our own strength. We have to pursue wisdom with those around us, and we have to accept the wisdom that those around us are providing. So why don't we just pray today, if you all would like to stand up. I think this message was kind of just a big reminder and realization to a lot of us. But I want to encourage you to put these things into action. If God has spoken to you in any one of these points in this message, don't let him just speak to you, but put it into action. Do what you need to do. Reach out to that friend. Reach out to that pastor. Reach out to that leader. Start prioritizing the people that are around you. Start prioritizing those godly friendships. Let's go ahead and pray today. Father, Lord, I thank you for this day. I thank you for this opportunity that you've given us. I thank you for this message that you have prepared for us, Father, Lord. And I thank you for just your provision over our lives, for the wisely counsel that you've provided us, Father, for the wise companions, Father, Lord, that you've provided us, and for your love that you've provided us, Father. And I just want to pray today, Father, and just encourage anyone to accept that, Father, to accept those influences, those godly influences that you have prepared for them, to accept that wise counsel that you have ready for them, Father, Lord, and to accept your love, Father, that way they can demonstrate your love and be wise friends to those around them. Father, I know we live in a difficult world sometimes, but our world needs more of your church, more of your community, and more of the people that you have established, the people that you're trying to raise up, Father. And I pray that you just may make us, Father, Lord, effective disciples of your kingdom, effective citizens of your kingdom, Father, Lord. And for anybody here today that's struggling with anything, Father, I pray that you may let them know that you are right there in the midst of their struggle, that you are providing for them, Father, that there's breakthrough coming in their lives, Father, and that you have provided a community to fight with them, a community to reflect your love, Father, and a community to guide them towards freedom and victory, the freedom and victory that you have died for, Father. Thank you for this beautiful day once again, and for every single person here today and every single family represented. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen.
Hey family, we are so happy that you were able to connect with us today. We hope that this word was a blessing to your life. Now, if today you have decided to give your life to Christ, we would first like to congratulate you. You have made the best decision. Do you want to know what's next? Write to us. We would like to meet you. Do you also have a prayer request? Write to us. We would like to pray with you. And thanks again, church, for connecting with us. We hope you have a blessed week, and until next time.